What's up, everybody? This is another episode of Better Than Static. I am your host this week, per usual, Tyler. And with me this week, I have a little bit different than my buddy Chris and my buddy Lucas. I have my buddy Jacob. What's up, Jacob?
Hey man, how's it going?
So I felt bad about having my two single friends be on a Valentine's Day episode. So I got one of my not single friends to be on the Valentine's Day episode. But that's so Jacob is my fiance's best friend's husband, and which me and Jacob, we knew each other before you started like dating Allie.
Yeah, like back in high school, we knew each other. I mean, I had your mom in class. We were friends then. We're definitely a lot closer now,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
and it kind of like we got like the lottery because usually if like you have to hang out with your wife's friends or your girlfriend's friends or like whatever the relationship is, you have to hang out with their friends. It's awful, but it's
Yeah, it's
not.
like weird. Yeah,
It's great because me and Jacob are so weird, and
yeah,
it's
we
great.
get along. Like yeah, like
Yeah,
there's like usually you go in and you're like, oh man, I have to hang out with my wife's friends, and then like, oh no, I get to hang out with Kirby. So it works good.
yeah. Um, so Jacob, we said that you have a wife, and yesterday was Valentine's Day. So if audience, you know our recording schedule, like we record on Saturday, so Friday was Valentine's Day, and this will come out on Monday. Just to give all the new listeners the timeline of when we're talking about. Jacob, what did you do for your wife on Valentine's Day?
Oh, well, I am just a hopeless romantic. So me and her and I went to Dave and Buster's.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was actually her idea, right? She was like, Jacob, let's do something fun. She's like, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on food. And I was like, okay, I'm down with that. She's like, let's spend a bunch of money playing arcade games. And I was like, oh heck yeah. So we went down there, and we played. She actually beat me about on like five of the games, which was pretty impressive. Right, she could obviously shoot a basketball better than me, which is kind of embarrassing. And then I bought her a bunch of candy, and she always loves to have letters written to her for every big occasion. So I wrote her a little, love letter, telling her how much I love her and all that good stuff. So I think it went pretty well. Yeah.
So Jacob just shown up half the male population right there. Well, half the non-single male population. So like
I do
of the
what I can,
yeah,
Yep.
you put the work in.
Yeah, whenever you've married up like me and like you've outkicked your coverage and and she's in the major leagues and you're just handing out the popcorn at the stadium, you just do whatever you got to do, right? I mean, it
Oh
is what it is.
no, I understand perfectly because I am also in the same situation. I reached and Samantha settled. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Both of us are in the same boat.
yeah, yeah. Um, but dude, I feel you about not like I completely understand Allie not wanting to go out and like to fancy restaurant stuff because they're always packed. Um,
Always. Like we went to Melting Pot last year, and I kid you not, we sat there for 45 minutes waiting for people because the server did not realize we were there.
oh my god.
Yeah, and you pay a lot of money for that stuff, and it's like I've been here 45 minutes and then I got my drink order, and so we were like, I'm not doing that again.
Me and Samantha drove past Texas Roadhouse last night. So so we live in if you're first time listener, you've not heard our stories about our hometown. Jacob is also from the same hometown as me, Lucas, and Chris. And there's very few nice restaurants. Like there are good restaurants and but like the bigger chains that are like fancy, like steakhouse. That's the word I'm looking for. Steakhouse. There's not a lot of steakhouses in our hometown. Texas Roadhouse was packed last night. Like it was taking over Fazoli's parking.
Look, if you're from London, Kentucky, and you don't want to drive more than 20 minutes anywhere else, like Texas Roadhouse might be your only option.
Like we have Cheddar's and we have like an Old Town Grill, which there's only three Old Town Grills, and Shiloh's and stuff is a steakhouse, and they're all nice. But like Texas Roadhouse, where it's new,
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's always packed. And then like last night, it was packed three times the size I've ever seen it packed. So it was just crazy. But so me and Samantha did something similar. We we stayed home. Like we went to get well, she didn't stay. She stayed over. It's weird. It's a whole weird situation. So we got a duplex, which we've mentioned in previous episodes, and I'm living in it right now. And Samantha is not. She still lives with her parents. But she came over last night, and we got a Papa John's heart shaped pizza, some cheese sticks, and a cookie. And we watched Netflix.
That's living the dream, man.
Dude,
Like
it was one of the best Valentine's. It's my first Valentine's Day with a Valentine.
that's like what me and Allie do on Tuesdays. This is like I'm about to tell myself here, but me and Allie have what's called Bachelor Tuesdays,
Yeah.
right? And we don't go out. We come home and we have Hulu, so everything comes out the day after, and we watch the latest episode of The Bachelor and eat pizza usually.
Dude, my youth pastor does that too. Like I I feel like if I started The Bachelor at the beginning of a season, I might watch it, but, like, I never pay attention to when it starts the new season, so I'm not gonna miss out because, like, I don't wanna like, I wanna see the tears that Michelle gets when she's the first one that doesn't get a rose or something or however it works. I want to
Uh,
see pain.
it is amazing. It is a social experiment, and like they are convinced that this is the only way to find love, and it's hilarious. I mean, it keeps me so entertained because the girls are so like I don't know how to say this, but like most of them are like fake and like they all hate each other, and then the guy is usually really dumb as a brick. Like this year, this season, Peter, we're talking about Valentine's Day, so we can talk about The Bachelor, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
Peter
completely
is
on topic.
yeah, okay, perfect. Because Peter might be the worst bachelor of all time. He loves drama, and all the normal girls he immediately sends home, and he has this collection of just wackos, and it is awesome.
Here's what I question. Is it actually Peter or are they playing Peter? Like, is it the production company like, "Peter, you've gotta pick this one." Why do I vote off all the normal? Like, he's just, like, internally screaming at all everybody's there, or has he come out on the show and said, "I love drama"?
Yeah, well, I think I think like he probably has his top 5, and then the producers tell him who to keep beyond like after that, so that there's a little like drama or whatever.
Mhm.
But he loves drama, man. Like he is ridiculous. Like one thing that he didn't control that I thought was absolutely hilarious was one episode. He went on this date with I think it's Victoria F. And I can't believe I know their names. This is embarrassing. And they went on this date, and at the end, they always have like a semi-famous singer, or band come out and sing to them so they can dance to it, so that singer can, it's whatever. And then was it Chase Rice? Is that the country singer?
I d
Uh,
I don't know a lot of country music.
It's something like that. It's
Yeah.
it's something like that. And that bachelor that girl looks up and realizes that the producers had it figured out that she had dated that dude previously and brought
What?
that dude to sing while they're dancing with the bachelor. It
Oh
was
my gosh.
awesome. Like the bachelor producers just like top themselves because like they're having to dance and you could tell that the singer nor the girl knew that this was going to happen, and they were looking at each other like they were about to die, and it was awesome.
So, have you ever watched Hot Ones?
No.
Okay, so this it's I've taught I it's one of the YouTube shows I watch, and it's like the famous people get interviewed while eating hot wings, and the only reason I bring this up is the guy that interviews his first name's Sean. I can't remember his last name, but he does such good research about like the past, and it gets like nostalgic stuff for these famous people. So like what I pictured is the producers for The Bachelor are like his evil twin. They do the research so good, and they just wreck people with their research that they've done.
Oh yeah, it's gold. Like and like imagine this too. Like you're this girl and you're dating this semi-famous country singer who's probably making a lot of money, and you're like, you know what, this isn't good enough for me. I'm gonna fight 30 other women for one dude who's an air pilot who probably makes 60 grand a year. Like what? I
Here-
mean,
my question: there's no money in the end of Bachelor, right? Like they don't win
well,
money; they just get married or whatever.
yeah, they get engaged, and a lot of people are on there to get famous. Like you become like an Instagram famous person. Like a influencer, I guess would be the word.
I don't
It's
understand how that like Instagram famous people work. And I am not a non-techie person. I think it's where I'm a non-social media type person. I don't do social media a lot. Do you get money from being Instagram famous? Like I don't understand what the goal of being Instagram famous is.
Yeah, well, I think where most of, like, the young kids these days makes me sound old, but, like, they don't watch, like, cable television, right? So, the way that they get their commercials or the ads in their life is through social media. So, like, you'll follow, like, these famous like, these people will, like, promote products on their page, and, like, you'll follow them because 'cause they're on The Bachelor, and they'll be getting basically endorsements,
Oh, gotcha. That makes
like
complete sense.
yeah. So, it's pretty nice, I guess. I mean, I don't know what I would be great at endorsing like different types of food, but that would be about it.
Dude, I would if Little Debbie or like Rice Krispie or like Kellogg's or something like something sweet and like food wise, I'd rep the heck out of it. Oh, I'd every
Oh,
story would
yeah.
be me eating one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, for sure. Or like Velcro shoes. I'm really into those.
You like Velcro
Those
shoes?
Yeah, I don't like tying my shoes.
That's
So
I do the thing where I tie them and try to keep them tied as long as possible and just slip my foot in and
I
out.
do the same thing. Yeah, I do the same thing.
I don't think if there's a person besides dress shoes that like I'm really the only ones you can tie and keep tight are like your like Vans and like tennis shoes and stuff. Like there's a person that wears those shoes a lot and ties them every time. They're a psychopath. Which
Oh,
actually,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I can't do it, and I'm not lazy. It's just because I'll tie them if they need tied. It's just like why would I retie it when I could just slip my foot in there?
Exactly. Or why would you even bother tying the first time when you can have Velcro straps?
See, I'm not doing I'm not doing Velcro straps, Jacob. Now, when I was a
Uh,
kid, I did Velcro. I did Velcro with the ones that lit up, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
but
you.
in my 25-year-old life, I'm not
I'm
doing
trying. I'm trying to convince Allie to buy me a pair of Air Monarchs that I can mow the lawn in, but she flatly refuses.
I'll get you
Like,
some Velcro K Swiss that you can mow the lawn in.
oh man, yeah. Like, I want some dad shoes so I can use I bought a smoker
Yeah.
for Christmas. So someone got me a smoker for Christmas. My in-laws actually, and now like I've just reached this full dad mode without actually being a dad yet, and I just want to wear like white like New Balance or those like Air Monarchs and just mow my lawn and grill all the time.
Oh, well, I
So
mean, you have a dog. You have a puppy.
I do, and it's the devil.
I didn't wanna be like a basic white girl and just be like, "Oh, you're a dog dad. You're
Yeah,
such a dog dad."
I am a dog daddy. Oh
Um,
gosh.
I guess hold on, I gotta back up because there was something funny that happened last night. So, last night, mine and Samantha's plan this is like we went down the rabbit hole far, but it was a good rabbit hole. I just gotta
Yes.
bring it back because I had something I wanted to say about, like, our Valentine's Day. So, like, our plan was to watch Netflix and eat pizza, but at the duplex, we didn't have a TV yet. So the whole plan was we were gonna watch, Netflix off my laptop.
Yeah.
And Samantha's grandma is super awesome. She got our TV off the registry and was like, "Hey, you need to come pick it up." And on the registry, I didn't really think about it. And I just put a 65-inch TV on there. I didn't realize how big a 65-inch TV was. So we get to her grandma's house, and it barely fits in the back of my car.
Yeah, that thing's massive.
Oh, it's huge, Jacob. You need to come over, we'll watch TV on it. Um, and getting it to the house was easy because like, my it fit perfect in the back of my Ford Edge with the seats laid down. We get to the house and unpack it and put, like, the bottom stands on it, and it barely fits on our entertainment system. Like, if it was a half inch bigger, it would not fit. Like and we're gonna wall mount it eventually, but at the time, we're like, "We have to set it up because we don't have the wall mount thing." And it like, I no joke, Jacob, it it's there's no extra room. It's that big. Also, being in 2020, I did not think about putting on my registry a smart TV. I assumed it was a smart TV, the one I put on my registry, and it was not. So me and Samantha are like, "Oh crap, where's Netflix?" And luckily, I still had my like. So when I got my PC, I had thought about selling my Xbox.
Thank
Long
God
story
you didn't.
short, yeah, I didn't. So it was just a whole fiasco of like up and down roller coaster because getting the TV. That's like, oh yeah, we'll be able to watch Netflix on a giant TV rather than my laptop. Then you figure out it's not a smart TV. And you're like, oh crap, what are we gonna do? We're still gonna have to watch Netflix on the computer. And then I'm like, oh nope, brain blast, Jimmy Neutron here, Xbox.
Oh man, that's
But
awesome. Like you need to get an Apple TV. That's what like it's like a little bitty box that connects to that 65-inch TV, and it'll make it so much easier.
see, I mean, I'm thinking of that or Amazon Fire Stick or like just some type of internet receiver like that. Um,
Yeah,
but right now, I could play Minecraft and feel like I'm actually in the game. That's how big our
yeah.
TV is.
That's 65 inches is like huge. Like I would
Like
love to have one of those.
I'm not flexing, but I am. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
it's
makes total sense.
it was my ignorance that put that big a TV on there, but my ignorance was a win.
Yeah, it knew better than you.
Yeah, my inner subconscious was like,
You
"This
need
is
this,
what you need,"
and
and
it
it
was totally
was.
right.
It's like baby bear soup. It's just right. Let me just tell, or is it mama bear soup? Was Papa Bear was too hot and too big? Was Mama Bear? No, I think Baby Bear was too small and too cold. So Mama Bear soup. Mama Bear soup's the one that, right? I feel like it's not. I
Uh,
feel like that's wrong.
I feel like that's wrong. I think it's baby bears.
But that
I
doesn't
think.
make sense. I guess I don't know. I've not
I
I've
really
not
don't.
read
I don't.
Goldilocks in a long time. So
Like 30 years. Like yeah, I'm not ready. Like literally 20
you
years
aren't even
probably.
30 years. You aren't even 30 years old.
I'm 26, so like I've not read it since I was like 8. So like 18
Okay.
years.
Yeah. Also,
But
we're not
still,
we're not that old. We were saying like the young people today. I'm 25. Jacob's 26. We're not old.
no, we're not. I still like. I wake up. I might go. I might get up at the crack of dawn and go to bed at 10 o'clock every night. But I am not old.
See, I don't purposefully go to bed at like 9. I'm sitting on the couch and I fall asleep. So I
Oh,
feel
that's
like
worse.
no, because like it's not like I'm like, oh, I better get to bed. I better get to bed so I can wake up at 5 a.m. It's like I woke up at 5:30 to go to work, and then I get home and I'm tired. Not that
Yeah,
I
that
want
was.
to fall asleep, it's just I do.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm in bed. Like I'm like I turn my TV off. Like I'm going to bed at like 10 o'clock, and I
See,
am in my bed.
my normal like go to bed time like is 10:30. Like I'll go and like sit in the bed and like scroll on the phone. Then at like 11, I'm like, all right, lights out. I'm down. I'm out. I'm done. But but yeah.
Well, it makes sense when you gotta be up early like us. Us who are hard working folk.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's not that we're old. It's just we got to work.
Gotta pay
Just
them
go.
bills for that
Got
65-inch TV.
yeah. Got to get that bread, man. Got to get that bread. But yeah. So like I said, this was my first Valentine's Day. Um, with a Valentine. Do
That's
you?
awesome.
It is, and also today is my year anniversary of Asking Out Samantha.
Yes, man. Have you ever told the podcast where you guys met or like started hitting it off? I guess.
I think we have, but I'm not sure. Um,
Oh man, you gotta tell them. So
so
I feel like I'm kind of a part of it now. Like I don't know if it was like it probably happened after I got there or before I got there, but now that I'm a part of the group, like I just feel like I'm just proud.
so me and Samantha knew each other from high school. Like
Yeah.
that was me and Jacob knew each other from high school. We have a small town, and we knew most of our friends that are currently like still our friends from high school. Um, so me and Samantha are both working at different jobs, and we had a mutual friend invite us over for board games. And one of those board games was Dungeons and Dragons.
Let's go.
And that is how me and Samantha started hanging out. And we'd hung out. We started hanging out for like we'd hung out for like 6 months, and then a year ago today we went on our first date. I actually asked her out on Valentine's Day. Like I asked her out to go to the movies the next day.
Just in case it like not on Valentine's Day, just in case it didn't work out, just the day after.
Well, my thoughts were like she would already have plans, with like her
Yeah.
friends because I knew she was single, and like I didn't know because some like group of girls will like hang out on Valentine's Day where none of them are alone,
I
and I
think
didn't
they
want to.
yeah, I think they hung out like the day before. Like, I think Valentine's Day was a thing last year that Allie and all them did. With I think I don't remember though. I wasn't a part of that.
I mean, well, you're not a gal, so
Yeah, that's fair.
but but my thought process was that if like I don't want to intrude on that, but also Valentine's Day was a school night, and she's a teacher, and I'm like I still have to wake up early for my job. So I'm like, well, she's not gonna want to go to a movie on a school night. So I was like, I'll ask her out to go to the movies on the Friday. But also, it like had slipped my mind because I was single last year that it was Valentine's Day on Thursday. But like looking back, I should have thought about that, but I mean, it worked out. So yeah.
Hey, yeah, it
Also,
worked out great.
so how Jacob fits into the Dungeons and Dragons thing is Jacob has now joined the campaign we're a part of now. So
Yeah,
so
what's up?
Jacob so Jacob's a part of that. I
Druid
admit
life.
I had I missed that part. I'm a sorcerer. I so I'm a
Yeah, I think that's
sorcerer.
awesome. I'm not
It's
gonna lie,
cool.
I was a little nervous doing it, but it's my favorite, one of my favorite things that I do. Like, it's so much fun.
I think it helps that we have people like me and you where we riff off each other and like make it fun. Like it's
Yeah,
fun
like
to
it's not
begin
too
with,
serious. Yeah,
but we also joke around and stuff, and it like lightens the mood a little bit.
yeah.
Um,
Like, you never lived until your dungeon master is telling this super serious story, and I am on the other side of the table, just whipping my taco sauce packet awkwardly to eat tacos and ruin the whole thing.
and it wasn't just you whipped out the taco. It was the taco packet was under the table, and you just hear.
Like, yeah, you just smacking.
Yeah, I was like, "What the crap are you doing?" Um, dude, our dungeon master goes hard in the paint though. Like
Oh
he
yeah,
has So we started out in his dining room, I guess is what the room would be called. He has remodeled, not like completely remodeled, redecorated his basement to become like a tavern. That he has a bunch of candles and stuff, and we turn all the lights out and light candles and have these little like fake
it's like a
candles too.
seance. Like, there's not a seance, I promise.
Like people would think we're summoning demons if they came
Yes,
downstairs,
yes.
but it it I think that is one of the things that actually attracted me to Samantha, but it's because she wasn't like, "Well, I'm too cool for this." It was she was like, "I don't know a whole lot about this, and like I've never
I'll
done
try
this
it out.
before, but I'll give it a go." And she will say sometimes she dreads going, but she has a good time ultimately. I think her whole thing is she's like, "Man, we gotta be there for 3 hours. I could be doing so much other stuff for work." And I'm like, you can't worry about that. Like we'll have time after D&D. And I think like she gets it like she thinks she's not gonna have fun, and then she gets there, she has a blast. So like it's just it gets in your head when you like think about the time commitment there.
Yeah, I don't even think about it. I'm just gonna show, like, because there is, like, I guess there's work stuff that I could be doing, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna go down there and have a blast, and like our DM does such a good job making the story so much fun, and like you get so into it. I mean, most of the time I end up like a few times I'll stand up because I'm so nervous that I'm afraid something bad's about to happen. Like last week was whack. I mean, it was so good.
Dude, it was I don't know how he thinks of some of the stuff, and then some of the things he does just to piss us off. And I
Oh,
hate it. I hate it at the
100%.
time, but he does it in a way to make you care about the whole situation, which is
Yeah, he
good.
does. Yeah, he kills it. It's so much fun. So
But
which
yeah.
like you said, like it was cool that Samantha, like one of the things that attracted you to Samantha was that she was down to try it. Like that's a really big, like, important trait. Like especially for me, like I just want like somebody who's adventurous who will at least try something once. And Allie does that. And I think that's awesome.
Well, yeah, like Allie tried out Dungeons and Dragons too. Like she came the one time and she was fully in. She was there and she interacted. and she tried to learn. It just was not up her alley, and like you can't fault her for that.
Yeah, exactly. It just wasn't her thing, you know?
Yeah, but like it's someone. So I guess we're gonna get to like a sappy part of the podcast, but you got to find somebody that's like doesn't shame you for your interests, and that is something that like Samantha, no matter what I do, is just all on all like all aboard. She's like, do it and do it to your best ability and have fun. And because like I do my graffiti stickers and she's like, those are awesome, babe. You are so talented. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're literally supporting me in something dumb. And then like with the stand-up set I did, she was like, oh my God, you're hilarious. And it wasn't that like she was blowing smoke and not being genuine. It was like she was happy to see me have fun and to try new things and be like test my comfort zone. And she like I guess that impressed her, but she is so supportive. And here's the
Yeah,
thing.
definitely. Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
No, no, go ahead. Like I don't know. It's awesome to have like someone like that. And and
Yeah.
and it's like yes, Valentine's Day is an important day through Hallmark and all that crap, but like it's good. Like if you're one of those people's like, I don't want to give in to the man and the consumerism, that's fine. But today is more, it's like, or yesterday it was like more about, hey, this is another way I can show you I appreciate you for all that you encourage me to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Valentine's Day is worth it. Like I hated Valentine's Day, but now like I look forward to it. You know, obviously, you know, there's that cliche thing like, "Oh, baby, every day is Valentine's Day when I'm with you." But like, um, it really does give you a chance to make someone feel special. And like you say, man, it's so important. Like to all our podcast listeners out there to find somebody who supports you in what you do. You know, they don't have to like know it. Like they don't have to be like, oh, I like Allie doesn't necessarily like doing Dungeons and Dragons, but she loves when I go and she loves to hear me come home and tell her about it. And like she's super supportive in that, and that's a big thing. And like, and I support her and all the stuff that she wants to do, and you do the same thing for Samantha. Like it's like a big deal, like to have somebody who you know when it all comes down to it, they don't think that you're weird for the stuff that you like to do, you know, and that but support you in it, and they want you to they want you to kind of have your own thing that and then they want you to kill it, and I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, and like if you don't have somebody that doesn't support you in every endeavor you do, unless it's like drugs, that's your endeavor, and they're not supporting that. That's good. That's a good thing. But anything else, like anything short of that, if you do it and they're not supporting you, or and not really supporting you as in like giving you money for it or like going with you to it, but encouraging you to keep doing it, like they're probably not the one. I don't know.
Oh
It's
yeah, definitely. Like I would say, like I would definitely there's definitely that side, and then at the same time, like, and once you realize, like, now that I know that Allie supports me in everything that I do, if she comes to me and she's like, "Well, and she's like, "Well," and I try something new, and she's like, "Well, I don't know if you should do that," and she can give me a good like she's given me enough reason to trust her, and she supported me enough that I would definitely listen to her advice and probably. And you know what I'm saying, like what her opinion matters a lot to me now.
oh yeah, there's always it's good, like, if you're like if you come to Allie and you're like, "Man, I wanna be a rock climber, free-form rock climber." She's like, "Ah, babe, let's analyze some facts. I don't want you to die." Uh,
Exactly.
and you're like, "Oh, that's a good reason, that's a good reason."
Yeah, exactly.
But Jacob, let's go into a little bit let's just keep going down this sappy rabbit hole. What attracted you to Allie?
Oh man. So like I guess this is like the new age way, but like I saw a picture of her on social media and I was like, wow, she is beautiful. I've been out of like a few other relationships and they were all kind of, you know, they were all kind of crappy. And I looked at my buddy who one of my roommates at the time, and his name is Jake as well. And I was like, man, see this girl? I want to go on a date with her. Like, I just saw she looks great. I was like, I feel like she literally she's the one. Like I want to. I'm not going on another date till I meet this girl. And So yeah, like I just was really attracted. Like first time I saw her, I was like, I don't know if it's love at first sight. I don't know if I really believe in that, but like it was something like that when I first saw her. Like she was just like she was beautiful, and then you go on a date with her, and you're like, wow, she's not only beautiful, but she's extremely smart and really funny. So like that's kind of like the three, the three
The
like
Triple Crown?
necessities.
No.
Yeah, the triple crown,
No, it's the
exactly.
trifecta. The trifecta. That's the
The
word for it.
trifecta, yes. So
The
yeah.
Triple Crown. She's the Triple Crown anyway. Like that's even higher than a trifecta.
Yeah, like she just kills it. So, what about you? So you hung out with Samantha's friends, and then what changed?
So in high school, me and Samantha hung out, and in high school, you're dumb and you don't really know who you are and stuff. So I didn't really. I think I only dated two girls in high school. Um, Both not really great relationships. And like it was probably smart. Like it was really smart that I'd never asked out Samantha in high school because I was probably an idiot. Like I was dumb probably.
Yeah, Allie would have hated me in high
Yeah,
school.
exactly. I was annoying, I was obnoxious, and, like, I don't know, I was probably a butt, just in general. Um, so, you go through you go through college and stuff, you really mature and whatnot, and you really know what you want. So hanging out with Samantha, just like the first thing, like I said, like, she'd never shot anything down with the board games and stuff. She was uneasy, but she would try it, and I thought that was awesome that she was opening up to, like, the super nerdy things, and the fact that she saw that weird side of me and still, like, enjoyed hanging out with me. Um, Also, she laughed at a butt ton of my jokes, like poop jokes, dumb, like, dad jokes, like, she laughed at every single one. So I was like, "Well, dang, she has the same sense of humor as me." So I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
and what was tough, so mine and Samantha's relationship, like, I like, at that point, the friendship relationship, I did not want to ruin. I was so nervous, and my buddy Chris that like, he can attest to this, like, I would be talking with him, like, "Man, I would really like to ask this girl out, but I don't wanna make it weird." I don't want to, like, because I really enjoyed Dungeons& and Dragons, but I also really enjoyed hanging out with her and it not being weird. So I really just, like, Chris finally he didn't really talk me into it. He basically just said an ultimatum. He's like, either you do it or you stop talking about it. Like, I'm done listening at your crap. And then, like, the youth, like, we were at Dairy Queen after youth with all the kids, and the kids had, like, trickled out and left, so it's kind of just the leaders there. And the youth pastor heard us talking. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And, like, the youth pastor is one of my best friends too. Like, I've known him for 3 years, and I see it. Like, we hang out all the time, just because we've had really hanging out for 3 years doesn't sound like we were very close. But when you're helping with youth and, like, that spiritual stuff where you can figure out who a human is at their core, you do get really close like that. And Jacob, where you're a youth pastor too, you understand that. And,
Oh
like,
yeah,
if
definitely.
if you're in the audience, you don't really understand that. Like, you can email us and I'll talk to you about it. But um, like, that's how I got really close to him. He's like, "You got to do it. If you're that convinced that you want to, but you're still afraid, that want has got to, like, that desire has got to trump the fear." And so, like, Chris was the main advocate for it, and also our youth pastor Tim was he was an advocate for it too. And I was like, you know what? Actually, that night, Derek, I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And that's a Wednesday. And the next day was Thursday, Valentine's Day, and I was at work, and I was like, it was like right at lunch, and I was just like, "Oh crap, I gotta do it. I gotta do it." So I slid into some Facebook DMs and said, "Hey, you doing anything Friday?" And
Yeah.
she was like,
No.
"I maybe, but let me check." And I'm like, "Oh, she's gonna shoot me down." But
She left you hanging for a second.
yeah, she let me hang for a bit. But what turned out, like, she did have plans, but, like, she didn't know if they were, like, solidified or not. So she texted me back, "No, I'm not doing anything. What's up?" And, like, that was the whole thing of, let's go on the date and whatever. So
Oh,
that wait, what?
I was gonna say, well, I am super glad that you guys got together because I would have to hang out with whoever Samantha married for the rest of my life, and so I would much rather hang out with you.
Yeah, hang out with me than some other rando.
Yeah.
But, like, once we got, like, so Also, what's funny about on the Facebook DMs was she didn't know if it was a date, and I was like trying to make it like a date. So she's like, "Well, do you want to like just meet there, or we can meet in London and drive there?" Because we went to the Corbin movies, and I go, "No, I can pick you up." She's like, "I live out in the middle of nowhere, East Bernstadt. Do you?" She's
Which,
like,
yeah,
she's like, "Do you know where like East Bernstadt is?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so I had her send me her address, and I went and picked her up, and that was like me, like, "This is a date. I'm picking you up." I got there, knocked on the door, opened her door for her, like trying to make every signal say this is a date. Um, and like once we got, I'm like, I was nervous. I was super nervous, had butterflies and everything. And as soon as she got in the car and we started talking, like we were cracking up the whole time. Like that whole night, we laughed. We went and saw the Upside, and we got to the movies, and the Upside starts really dark. It starts like kind of sad. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I've given her the worst movie date ever." And then it like switches really quick when Kevin Hart enters the movie, and it's super funny, and we laughed. So we laughed all the way from her house to the movies, like waiting for the movie start. We were laughing. Pause for that little sad part and Upside, and then the rest of the movie we're cracking up, and like I was just making jokes about the movie, and she was dying laughing, and we laughed the whole way back. And just on that date, like I found out that she loved like her job. She's a teacher and she loves kids. Well, I help out with youth, so I love high school age kids, and like we had some of the same kids like that I had in small groups she had in class, and just really finding out her heart was service based, and like she helped out at her church at that time with little kids, and I got to tell her like all the stories about me and my niece and stuff like that. It just was very fluid, and like there was never any like question that I didn't want to have another date with her, or I didn't want like after the first day I'm like, yeah, this is what I want, because it was a person. So I guess I got way off the rabbit hole of just saying how I started dating her, but what attracted me to her was, like I said, she was super open, she's super encouraging about anything I do. Her sense of humor is there. Um, her heart of service and just love for kids, and like that's our future and stuff. It was on the same page as mine. And man, she is drop dead gorgeous. So I was like, I was nervous because that I'm like, man, she's not gonna like me. I'm weird looking. Um, but like just be her being like the way she is and being attractive is just a bonus, and it's like it's awesome.
yeah, definitely. I have to tell you a story. Um, my first date with Allie was a double date with her brother and his wife, and we go to Cheddar's, and we go to the pumpkin patch. But we really don't want to tell people that our first dates at Cheddar's, so we just tell people we went to the pumpkin patch. We went to pumpkin patch, and it was great. Like it was so fun and all that. Like, and I knew that she was down to clown whenever I saw a kangaroo at the pumpkin patch, and I made a kangaroo mating call, and she didn't think it was weird. Um,
What was the kangaroo baiting call?
I don't remember what I did, but it was just some god awful high pitched scream in front of God and everybody, and she just laughed really hard, and I was like, I just embarrassed the crap out of myself. Um, I don't even know if I could even do it again. Is how bad it was. And but so but this it gets even worse. Like my first date, I was royally messing it up, and it goes great. You know, we're having a great time, and I did the kangaroo call, and we get out, and I didn't realize at the time, but her brother kept leaving us alone so that I could get her phone number because I didn't have her number because Tyler, her brother, I graduated with, and he was the one who set up the date. So I didn't have her phone number, and he was leaving me alone with her to get her phone number, and I would get too nervous to ask her for it. And so finally we get in their car, and we're driving back to pick my car up, and we're all four in the car together, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I have not asked for this girl's number." So I was like, "I got a plan. When I get out of the car, I'm gonna immediately go to my car. I'm gonna DM her on Instagram and tell her that I totally forgot to get her number, and it's gonna be all good." So I get to my car, I get in the car, and I guess her brother, whose name is also Tyler, looked around and said, did he give you his number or did he ask for your number?" And Allie was like, "No, he didn't." He looked at her. He said, "Listen, you get out of this car right now and you go get his number if you want it, because I'm not gonna be the
The
go between for
middleman.
you people yet anymore." So I'm sitting in my car freaking out like I have jacked this up. I have not gotten her number. And I turn around and I hear this knock on my window, and she's knocking on my window, and I roll it down, and she's like, "Hey, do you want my number?" Or I was like, "Yes, please. Can I have your number?"
We are so smooth, Jacob. Let me just
Yes,
tell you,
I know. It worked out great for us. But yeah,
man.
I tell everybody like me and you are can attest to this. Like you have to be so funny that they forget you're ugly. Like that's some good dating advice, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah, like,
that's how I live every day.
yeah, that's the advice I would give like the people listening is like just be so funny they forget you're ugly, because like usually when a girl laughs, she closes her eyes when she laughs, and you want her eyes closed as much as possible. All right. And so I'm
That's
just
awesome.
saying,
That's great
like
advice.
it is. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Man,
So
it's crazy. It's just like we are bumbling idiots, and just the women we got to like. I'm super pumped to marry my fiance. She's the best. We get married in March, and I cannot wait. But just the fact that like from here until March, there's no way I can screw it up because just how much like she's the all star and she loves me a whole lot and I love her a whole lot. And that's I don't know. I didn't realize we were gonna get down to like this sappy like just love story stuff, but I think it's worth it and I think it's great. It's
yeah,
a great episode because it now to like in today's world, it's just like love has just been thrown around and stuff, and it doesn't have any meaning. But like that we are still like we mean you are both like we're young couples and we still have that like very true and like know what it is we love about each other like our significant others and know that like we love them and they love us like that's like a good sign for humanity.
yeah, exactly. And I think like it's important, to understand. And me and you, we understand this. Well, first of all, we know like this is about to get really like sappy slash serious, and I apologize, but
No, you're good, dude.
like the divorce rate in the world is like over 50%. And especially America, it's probably a little higher than that.
I think it's
Um,
70%. I think it's 70% America.
okay, yeah, see, that's whack. And a lot of that reason is because people just think love's like a feeling, and it is. Like, don't get me wrong. Like if I didn't feel anything for Allie when we first started, it wouldn't have worked out. But like over time, like you have to like every morning you wake up, you gotta have to make that decision that you're gonna love your wife or love your girlfriend or love whoever. And as you make those decisions every day, even the days you don't feel like it, you'll find out that the feeling's always gonna be there because you allow it to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
Like,
like, cause like I'm gonna piss off Samantha. I've already
yeah,
done it. I'm aware I've done it. But she wakes up that next day and is like, I still love this guy. I don't know. Like, and it's not the feeling because I never said like when I piss her off, it's usually because I said something really dumb. And, like there was nothing to woo her in that thing. It
yeah,
was just me
same here.
being dumb
Yeah,
and stupid and like so there was no feeling that word. But like the next day after she's pissed off, she's like, she makes that choice. I'm still gonna love him. And I like granted, I've like Samantha has never like Samantha's one of the few people that has not pissed me off a lot. Like I get pissed off at so many people so often, and I'm very vocal about it. But like I still like, even though I don't, it's not a hard choice. I still wake up every day and it's like I love this girl, and Jacob's completely right. It's like it is a feeling and it's a chemistry thing in the beginning, but once you make that like what past that, it's you gotta keep making that choice and keep it's love isn't easy.
oh no,
Granted,
no, no,
for
definitely not.
because I guarantee for Allie and Samantha, it's not easy for them to love us, but they do, and we're very thankful for it. But like everybody thinks when they go on a date and they feel the good chemistry and they keep having those fuzzy butterflies when they're around the person, that's like yeah, it can be permanent, but it's not. It's something that goes away after a while. Um, Like Jacob said, it's all a choice. And I still, and I'm sure you do too, Jacob. You get the butterflies around Allie, and I get the butterflies around Jacob. It's because, or not, I do get,
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Yeah, let's
yeah.
go.
I get the butterflies around Jacob and Samantha at the
Oh
same time when
yes.
they're in the same room. Oh God.
It's
But
game
like
over.
I still get the butterflies, but I don't know. It's weird because yes, I do have the feelings, but I also know that there will be days that I don't have the feeling. But it's still a day when I don't have the feelings, I'm still gonna choose to love her.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like cyclical, right? Like it's kind of a circle. Like as like the feeling pushes me to make decisions out of love, and then those decisions out of love push me to have more feeling. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? Like
that's the
it's a
cycle.
circle. Yeah, and then what happens to a lot of people, I think, and I'm not saying like I mean, and I'm not saying I have the answer for everybody. A lot of times is the second they stop having that feeling, instead of making a decision that could bring that feeling back, they're like, oh well, I guess I'm not in love anymore, and they just do something crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
that's where like that's where they have the big fight or they choose someone else or something like the big thing happens there, whatever it is that breaks that circle and that ends that relationship. So like we said, the choice you make every day is very important to keep that cycle going.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Because I mean, like, let's be honest. One day they're going to be 80 years old, and you're going to be 80 years old, and you're not going to look the same, and it's just gonna, and you're not going to be able to do the things you used to do. And so, but that everyday decision still is why you're there, because they end up being your best friend.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, and being like best friend, that's also a really good analogy because when you have you we all had our like guy best friend, like, and I still have my guy best friends and stuff like that. But like you still got to choose that best friend, like if you stop talking to that guy, he'd probably quit hanging out with you and stuff. And it's the same way with your significant other. You got to choose that one's the one you want, and like that's the one you go after. That's the one you pursue, and that's the one you chase after through everything.
Exactly, 100% accurate.
Well, Jacob, thank you so much for a Valentine's Day episode. Hopefully, everybody y'all enjoyed this. I love Jacob. He's hopefully he'll be like I would like to have him on more. So you should listen to this episode and encourage him to come back. Um,
Oh yeah,
because
dude, I would love to be on. It's super fun. I produce a podcast somewhere else, but like I never get to be behind the mic. So
dude, the behind the mics the best. Like especially when I really like our format of the show because it's just us freely talking. Like we used to do the topics and like go through video games and stuff, but really where we've hit our stride of where me and the other guys enjoy it is just where we get to talk and bounce like off of each other and vamp and like have like the serious talks like we did today or go down the rabbit holes like we did today. And that's the best content to me, that because it's most enjoyable and I hope it's most enjoyable for the audience. But it's just because like I'm not making any money off this. Like I'll be super open. I just do it because it's really fun to hang out with my friends.
yeah, it's a great platform to kind of talk.
Yeah, and like Lucas, who's usually on the podcast, he lives in Lexington, so it's hard for me to hang out with him. But like this like hour conversation that we get to have like a week, or sometimes we skip a week or whatever, like that's really good to keep that relationship going. And it's awesome to hang out with him and hang out with my buddy Chris. That like it's really fun, and I hope like it was fun for you, and I hope it was fun for you, the audience. Hopefully you didn't get like too grossed out by all the mushy feeling things. Hopefully you had a great Valentine's Day. Regardless if you're in a relationship or single, yesterday was hopefully a great day for you. It's probably inconvenient more than like the worst part was probably it was inconvenient because you couldn't go out to eat. You probably had to like order takeout food or like go through a drive-through just because it was like everybody came out of their home to do whatever. That like was the most inconvenient thing for me. But but like I hope every day is great for you guys. Thank you for listening. If you have topics for us that you'd like us to talk about or like movies you want us to review, we still do that. You can email us btstatic.pod@gmail.com, or you can tweet those to us at btstatic. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being on the show, Jacob. Um,
Uh, yeah, anytime, man. I loved it.
yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. And hopefully this episode has been better than static. We will catch you guys next time. See ya.
Give a bum a